What's going on, YouTube? It's been way too long since I've made a fucking vid, and that is because I've been in my hometown for almost a month, and I wasn't locked in, so finally back at the crib, finally able to lock the fuck in. But yeah, basically today we're gonna go over, the 5 cycles and stages you go through before you get rich. So this is actually a good video idea. I don't know why it popped in my head, but it did, so I was like, might as well make a video on it. So basically, just jumping in. So a lot of people think that getting rich, well, one, it's very difficult, but two, they think getting rich is about what they do, like exactly the exact business model. They look for the perfect thing to start. And the truth is, everything is going to be hard. Everything is going to be, work, right? And it's going to take time. It's going to be a process. So if you're going through these stages, just know you're on the right path, and you're probably, a month, 2 months, 3 months away from your, breakthrough to where you're going to make the most amount of money ever. And it is actually going to finally start working. So if you are doing something and grinding, stick to it. Do not quit. Do not stop doing it. Keep going. Obviously, of course, that's a no-brainer. But the 5 stages getting rich. So the first stage is, I would say, seeing other people do it and then starting to then want to also live that same lifestyle and be able to have that same amount of money, right? So first stage is, seeing other people doing it and then, starting the addiction and the obsession of, trying to get rich, because it literally is an obsession. And it is something that, you are always going to think about, crave, and, really just grind for, right? So first stage is literally just seeing it and, piquing interest and actually pursuing it, right? The second stage, is taking action and actually starting, right? And doing what you're doing. This, from step 1 to step 2, is the most important step. If you do not start, you will not get anywhere, right? And I'll say that again. If you do not start, 1, you're a little ass bitch, but 2, you're not going to get anywhere and you're not going to make any fucking money, right? So stage 2 is starting. And so I would say stage 3. Okay, so this is a rough one, right? This is when you're doing it, you're taking action, you're doing everything correctly, but you're not getting results, right? And now, people are peeping that you're not getting results and peeping that it already hasn't worked. And this could be your first month in, it could be your first 2 months in, but people are going to always hate, going to always try and tell you to quit and convince you to literally quit because they want you to be average like them, right? A lot of the times people tell you to quit and want you to be average because they want you to stay exactly where they're at. And so stage 3 is, I would say, like the disconnect from everyone, right? Because when I first started and I started telling people, literally everybody doubted me, right? Every single person I told doubted me. My parents, my friends, literally everyone except like a few good people, right? But basically I cut literally everyone off. I had a terrible connection with my parents. And that's where I understood, like, you kind of got to disappoint your parents if you want to make it work, right? And if you want to make it happen. Because if I had listened to my mother, I would have literally quit, went back to school, and I would have been in college right now, right? And that's not where I wanted to be. If you want to go to school, great. I think you should do it. But for me personally, it wasn't what I want to do. And I'm very big on, you should always do what you want to do in life because it's your life, right? So, around the third, stage of the disconnect, right? My connection with my parents wasn't great, right? And, obviously I cut off my friends. So what was I doing all day? I was in my room working, literally doing nothing. So stage 4 is becoming truly obsessed and becoming a no life, right? So what this means is you're literally just in your room, constantly grinding, constantly working, constantly focused on bettering your business and actually focusing on making it work. Now, obviously, you're disconnected from people, so most of the time you're just constantly heads down. You're focused, right? And then you're doing everything right. You're just progressing through your journey, but progress is slowly starting to come in, right? But it's not the results you're looking for, right? It's really not. But you're starting to see some progress. So that would be like stage 4, and that's like, I would say, like the like, how do I say it? Like the bottom of the hill, right? Before you start going up, right? I'm not even gonna say a hill, I'm gonna say an incline, because you know, you don't wanna come down after that. So, right, basically after step 4 and stage 4, where you're doing everything right, you're kind of just really obsessed and you're starting to really fixate on making it work, then stage 5 comes in, which is the greatest stage of them all, right? Stage 5 is the results, right? This is the crazy part, right? So the results come in, right? You start actually making money. Shit actually starts working out, right? This is the best part because 1, you're getting the results you were looking for, and 2, it's long-term dopamine of setting a goal, making it work, and going against all odds of what everyone said against you, any problem you faced on your journey, right? Which obviously you're gonna run into more. Like, these problems don't stop. It's not just an easy fucking, sunshine filled in rainbows. You're still gonna have problems when you get here and when you get the results, but now you're making money with it. So you are actually doing well and making it work, right? And then, if we add in a bonus stage, I would say bonus stage 6 is when everyone sees it worked. And now they're asking you to put them on and being like, bro, how'd you do it? Like, yo, I always believed in you. Stuff like that. That would be like a bonus stage, but those are the 5 stages of getting rich in terms of, the whole journey, right? But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. And if you do want to learn what I actually do to make money online, I do high ticket sales, right? Essentially what that is I'm taking calls for business owners, closing deals, and taking 10 to 20% commission of whatever I close. So it's obviously high ticket, so it's a big number. So let's say I'm closing for 5K, which is like an average ticket. If I'm taking 20% of $5,000 every single close on a 30-minute call, that means that in 2 calls, I could be up $2,000 on the day for making 10,000, rev generated, right? So anyone can do this. If you do want to learn, go to my TikTok or Instagram at DD Closes, right? It's the same as my YouTube. And go check it out, check out my content, and just DM me HTS to get placed on an offer, any sort of help that you might have. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one.